In challenging certain traditions and patriarchal norms, we often identify more with the narratives of women being marginalized.
Before she is a woman, she's first and foremost a human being. So her human rights are there. So she's a human being before we know whether you're a boy or a girl. So I think definitely it's not a good syndrome. It's not something we should encourage, and we should go out of our way to change those social norms.
You do not know that when you give space to a woman, you're giving space to a community, you're giving space to a family, you're giving space to a nation. Because like I always say, a woman does not represent only herself. She represents everybody who is behind her. There's a community that is behind every woman, regardless of where she's from and regardless of what she does. So just understanding those concepts that are really underneath, we begin to have a broader view of how we should support ourselves as women.
Older women who definitely have gone through this, who definitely can mentor these young girls who are coming up, for them to also be able to, get to understand who they are, and definitely allow the society to define them or the limits they can go. Then when you see that happen, I tell you, whether in the workplace, you see more women, you see more of this young generation we are seeing right now really coming out and doing good things, great things for our nation, that before we know what is happening, the 50% of the left behind before definitely will be contributing to the growth of the society.
How else do I want to say it? We need opportunity. I mean, if you look at the population of this country already, we are, what, 50% or almost 50%? If you don't give women opportunities, you're not giving half of the population opportunities. That already is a major problem. I think it's extremely important that as we're going forward and setting initiatives, we're going forward and setting opportunities, we must put a gender lens into what we're doing and get to the point where we begin to mainstream women into whatever it is that we're doing.
Knowing that women are more vulnerable, considering the various factors ranging from socio-political to economic factor, how can women have more opportunities to thrive?
I understand what it means to be pulled down. I understand what it means to be in a situation where it doesn't really serve me. So instead of using that as a way to pull people down, I've used it as really a stepping stone and a bridge to support women. One of the things that I've come to realize is entrepreneurship is a tool we can use to get to equality faster. And so for the last couple of years, I've really just dedicated my life to serving women through entrepreneurship, using that as a tool for women's economic empowerment. I believe very strongly that if you put money in the hands of women, they can do things better for themselves and for their families. And so really the work that I've done has really been around, capacity building for women, has really been around financial inclusion for women, ensuring that they're able to get financing for their businesses, Also, I've run an NGO called Wevo Foundation for the last 5 years, which is really dedicated to supporting single mothers, because those are women in the society that society really doesn't cater for.
But I tell you that the main custodians of customs and traditions, social norms, are men. So if you're able to reach them, to make them understand the benefits of actually empowering a woman, we want our men to live longer. We don't want to see it as it becomes a norm. They tell you, oh, the man dies before his wife. To see that when you bring a man and you're able to let him understand the benefit he will get, getting his wife empowered, knowing fully well, even if he's a billionaire, if he dies today and that woman is not empowered enough to take care of the family, then I can imagine how he will feel.
Obviously, in the progression of human civilization, the protracting hurdles and success of women in measuring up to balance the status quo remain unquantifiable.
Don't let society, don't let social norms, don't let gender stereotypes ever make you not to believe in yourself. Because I tell you, Nigeria will go nowhere. Even the world will not go anywhere without we actually maximizing the potentials of women.
Stay resilient, keep doing, be you, and collaborate. Happy International Women's Day 2025.